Okay, perfect. So,
This is just
me,
yeah.
Champion, and Sentry, we devised our, top 5 video game soundtracks. In our opinion, okay? I know maybe one or two of these are not going to be in your, they're not going to be, maybe in your top 5 or in Sentry's top 5.
Like I was telling you before, they're not really like my top 5.
Yeah, these are.
They're like 5 I like. It's just there's a number 1. But like I was telling Champion, the other 4 I have on this list, they're all number 2 in my opinion. Like they're not. There's no. Like, they're really good.
And look, and
it's hard to classify like, oh, this is better than this one. But there is a number 1 for me.
This
personally.
look, okay, and this is how I see it. How I see it is like, I don't like, my thing is if I enjoyed it, like how much I enjoyed it. That's what I'm going after. I'm not going after like which one which one people think sounds better or which one's highly rated. There's 1 or 2 series that I left out here that everybody's gonna give me crap for not talking about, but I just didn't grow up to those games, so again, I don't want to give out any hints, but yeah, let's start with our list, our top 5 video game soundtracks. Let's start at number 5. Now, Sentry, what's your number 5 and why?
The Elder Scrolls series.
Elder Scrolls? Why?
So yeah, the Elder Scrolls always has like this epic, you're always the guy who in the games you have to like save the world essentially. But I don't know, they each song has like each track has like their own theme pertaining to whatever setting they're trying to go to.
Yeah.
And I remember when like Skyrim, like when you go to Valhalla and you hear that theme of like the Dragonborn song, but in Valhalla or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, or what was it? So no, it wasn't. It's basically Valhalla, but it was I forgot what it's called.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a lot of the music. It's really good.
I mean, they made their own language up just to write some of their songs in that dragon language. It's honestly.
And Morrowind has some great, like, the theme was great. I actually like the theme of Morrowind better than Skyrim. Even though they're the same.
I like Skyrim's more, but when I first heard Morrowind, I was like, wow, this is up there.
Whereas Oblivion, the soundtrack on Oblivion is more like regal. Like it's more, you're in the capital.
Yeah,
of
but I liked it still.
This huge continent. No, I love it, but like I'm saying, like it's it's more like it uses a lot of like cello instruments and stuff. It's more it goes into more of a regal tune, whereas Skyrim goes for like this Nordic, folk music.
Yeah,
it
knocks it out the park. Yeah. So that's your number 5, Elder Scrolls. Good pick.
But like I said, all of my first 4 are number 2 to me. Like there's none. They're not better than each other. They're all great. My
number 5, and this one I don't think is gonna be on your list. If it is, I'll be surprised. This is probably not gonna be on most people's list. This one is solely on nostalgia, and hearing the music from this series makes me happy every time I listen to it. It is the Sonic Adventure series. And I know, like, that might sound weird, but playing Smash the other day, I was looking through the music, and I clicked on Sonic, and I clicked on the Sonic Adventure series, and hearing around, like, especially that first song. Well, when I'm saying the Sonic Adventure series, because we're not picking single games, we're picking series, but I'm mostly talking about Sonic Adventure 2. I mean, that song at the beginning where it's like rolling around at the speed of... Whoever's played Sonic Adventure 2 knows that exact moment I'm talking about. And that to me shows you what I'm talking about. When you're able, like, anybody who's played this game has, like, you can, our cousin in common, Gabe, he hears that song and he went crazy when we were playing Smash and he heard it playing in the background. He went berserk. And also when you go to the Chow Garden, I remember if you remember that the Sonic game that had the Chow Garden.
It's a very, I'm listening to it now. It's a very 2000 like early 2000s rock.
No, and when you listen to the Chow Garden
metal play,
the Chow Garden song, it is the most calming song you can listen to when you're in the Chow Garden. I could literally spend hours listening to that song and it never got annoying. I would spend hours and hours in the Chow Garden. It was just it's just the most relaxing thing ever. I don't want to get copy, strikes, so I'm not gonna play it. But my number 5.
I doubt we're gonna get copy striked.
Probably not. But number 5,
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure series. Your number 4, Sentry.
Okay, my number 4. Like I said, they're all number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to go with Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest. Really? I feel like
This was a hard decision.
the Dragon Quest series, like, okay, I'm sure the music is good, but like I feel like you've played like not that many games from them.
I played one Dragon Quest, and I think it was in the Game Boy, but I didn't even know it was Dragon Quest because I was younger at the time.
But
I went back and I listened to a lot of the music with the recent Dragon Quest games I listened to and I played the the older versions as well. And the music it's like an overture, this is cheating because this is made by Square Enix.
yeah,
The kings of RPGs. So they use a lot of the same composers, so they can a lot of the composers are also on Final Fantasy, they're on Chrono Trigger, so that's why it was hard.
I don't want to give
I
anything
should've said-
away, but a bunch of Square Enix games we don't have honorable mentions because it would take too long. But if I had honorable mentions, it'd be full of Square Enix games. So I'm not complaining.
maybe I should have said Square Enix.
Yeah, in general.
But then that's kind of cheating because then that's how many games have they made?
Look, Kingdom Hearts, great soundtrack. Final Fantasy's a great
Yeah,
soundtrack. So it's like
and that's why.
Chrono Trigger.
But I went with Dragon Quest.
Again,
I went with Dragon Quest. Chrono Trigger, I love. See, that's what I'm saying. But it's not on my list. Chrono Trigger's not on my list. But there was a lot of games I decided to. I chose Dragon Quest at the end. Just something about, when the main theme plays, okay, you're going on an adventure.
Yeah.
You're going on a quest.
Yeah.
Which is theme, and I don't know. I love that. But then again, Final Fantasy has a lot of the same stuff. Chrono Trigger has a lot of great music as well. So
yeah, my number 4, and so yeah, your number 4 was the Dragon Quest series. My number 4. I mean, I think you can probably guess it if I just sing the main theme for like 2 seconds. I can't do it. I need to go into the bathroom. And you hear the
So Halo?
Yeah, the Halo series.
I considered Halo.
It's just
there was only one real
no.
song. Actually, that's not true. There's the. Actually, no, that's the same song. Just different parts of that.
Halo 3 was my first intro into. I feel like it was everybody's intro into the Halo series. Jeez, at least like most people that I know, at least in my generation.
A little bit older, yeah. It was the Halo.
Yeah.
Came out
No,
with
I mean
Xbox.
everybody loves Halo. Whatever generation they started with, they all love it. 1, 2, and 3. I love 3. The soundtrack was amazing, and stuff. And then going back and playing Halo 1 on because everybody had it on their computers, and then just hearing that sound. Oh my god, it was just. But still, it's full of great songs everywhere. Again, it's mostly for the beginning song, the first song, the song that everybody knows about. But I think in general, all their games have been, have had great scores. Halo 3 is probably my favorite one. I haven't played them all, of course, but for sure Halo 3. Halo 4 had great music. Halo 4 that's the one where Cortana leaves Master Chief. Or she gets, that one again, great soundtrack. I remember that one. My favorite one was probably, it was 3, 4. My favorite one was the one in between. I forgot what it's called now. But I remember that one as well had a good soundtrack. They all had good soundtracks, honestly. They just...
Yeah. The reason is because I could only think of the main theme. The main theme is like a 3-minute long song. And it has just a bunch of parts in it that the games utilize like different parts of the main theme into whatever mission that was going on. So, but yeah, Halo's a good.
Yeah, that. And by the way, Halo Reach was the game I was talking about. Again, soundtrack was amazing. They've never. Here's the thing. Their worst. The
Halo Reach was my first Halo.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into the Halo series. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's I'd say it's a funny thing. A lot of people don't like wouldn't say Reach is their favorite, but it's just my favorite. I don't know why.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Halo Reach is my favorite game out of the Halo franchise.
And I think all their soundtracks have been great. Here's the thing, like they've never had even an okay soundtrack. Like it's always been on par. It's been great. So my number 4, the Halo series. Your number 3, Sentry.
Okay, you want to guess? I mean, like I said, there's not.
I mean, can you sing? Are you gonna sing the theme or something? Like we need.
I'll say a major part of like one of the recent games that came out. Life Will Change.
Oh, I don't. Life Will Change. I mean, Jesus, that's. I don't know. Life.
Come on, dude. You're playing the game too.
Kingdom Hearts or Persona. Persona. Okay. Yes.
Persona. Man, they don't have like music. They got songs, and like you're gonna snap your finger to them. Like, and the songs are perfect for each game. Persona 5 was like, wow. I mean, Persona 5 was my first Persona, but I went back. I finished Persona 4, the Golden Edition, which is and then I finished Persona 3. Or no, I didn't finish. I started Persona 3. Yeah, but yeah, the music, they know their music, and it's like it pertains to every theme.
The thing I like, like you said, the thing I like about them, it's not here's the thing. Probably like most of these games that we mentioned that usually win soundtrack of the year have the best soundtracks. They're usually these big grand old orchestras and stuff like that have thousands of instruments or whatever, hundreds of instruments.
This is not. When it comes to epicness, it's epic in its own way.
Yeah,
I don't
like
want to say it's not like Halo, like oh.
It's a modern game set in like a modern city, so you have modern music, and it does.
Not even. It's like this electric jazz. But it's like, like
it's alternative. Like
I'm listening to right now, so Champion's looking at me, and I'm just like moving.
No,
towards
no. Here's the thing. Like I remember, because I actually went on Sentry's YouTube one time accidentally, because my account was being used for something else, and all the suggestions were Persona songs. I was there, Jesus.
Yeah, because there was a time when I was just listening. Like I listen to Persona when I'm working out.
Wait, when you're working out?
When I'm working out.
I mean, I thought you meant when you're gonna study. Like, okay, I'll listen to it while I study, not work out.
No, you can't study, dude. If I study this, I mean, I'll be moving. Like Persona 5 in particular. Persona 4, I love it. It has like it's like it came out in the early 2000s, so it has this early 2000 beat, but it's still really good. It plays with the theme of like a mystery and like in this closed friendship.
Yeah.
Like Persona 4, I'm talking about the games right now, but like it pertains to the soundtrack. The music.
What?
That's the thing. The music has to play an image of what's going on. Like it has to tell the story. Like these are songs, obviously.
Like I've heard some soundtracks for some games, but it's like, nah, I'm gonna go for the games that I played because I get I get like the in context of the song. I get the full context of the song.
Yeah, but yeah, Persona 5, they and then they have like some epic songs.
Question. Do you like Persona 5 soundtrack better than Persona 4's or other way around? You like Persona 5's better? Okay, but you enjoy Persona 4 more, right?
No, Persona 4 Golden as a game, I like the characters more, which obviously that makes like 90% of the game.
Yeah.
And the combat's the exact same. Like there's a little bit of improvements in 5. But there's no real much difference in combat. But Persona 5 was my first Persona, and I love it. And it's actually like if I had to recommend somebody a game, I would definitely say Persona.
Well, I mean, it depends on the individual. I wouldn't recommend Persona blindly. Yeah. But if you're into that,
Persona, like it's like my spirit animal. Like it's the gentleman thief. Like that's what the music. I'm going back to the music. The music is, at least for Persona 5, it's like this. You're a gentleman thief. you're super classy. As gentlemen, Persona 3 is actually depressing music, but it's a depressing game.
Yeah,
Like
makes
the
sense.
way you summon personas is the guy shoots his head. He has to shoot himself every time.
Oh
he
yeah,
summons a
yeah, I
persona.
remember that. I remember when people were
Yeah.
talking about that.
Yeah, and then Persona 4, the music is just like very upbeat, and it's kind of like weird because people are dying, but like the cast is always happy.
Yeah.
Not always, obviously they cry, they're sad, they get angry.
Unrealistic
but-
anime, feelings. Like they're always happy. They're always joking around.
Yeah, no, I will have a panic attack if I was in the set. It's like a serial killer mystery.
Oh,
In
okay.
Persona
Okay.
4.
Yeah, I never played part 4. I'm currently
Yeah,
playing
that's what
5.
I love. I thought, what, Persona 4 might be the exact same when I played Persona 5. But no, you're not at the, it plays the whole, it's a whole different setting, like
Yeah.
a whole different setting. It's like in the countryside, so it focuses a lot on the characters. You can talk to every NPC in the town,
Mhm.
every single one. And it's cool because they have their little relationships and
Let me
conflicts.
see. Okay, so so the Persona series in general.
Yeah, the Persona series in general
All right,
are
that's your number 3.
here. Going back to the music though, really quick
Mm.
on that, the last credit theme just made me cry. Like it was that good that I teared up.
I mean, I'm about to finish it, so let's see. I'm
No, yeah, it was just the music though. It wasn't like
Oh, just the music.
it wasn't like, oh, the story was sad. No, it was just the music. Because I completed the game. That's why I was
Oh, okay.
I was like, man. And the music is like telling you basically thanks for playing. Like, we gave it all. And that's
I
what
can't
made
wait
it
to
beautiful.
finish it. I wanna see that. I wanna feel that. No, and currently it's a great, amazing, awesome, super awesome.
And what's
soundtrack.
crazy, I didn't even know the music, the credits. It's kind of a spoiler, but it's not. It's the music spoiler. The last track is Japanese, so you really don't understand what they're saying.
I don't know.
But
I actually
it's the end.
I prefer when I want to concentrate, I prefer listening to music that I don't know the language of. I know that sounds weird, but
Yeah, you're not really concentrating. You're just looking at credits, but it's like
no. But when I'm focused, because if I focus on the words, because if I'm listening to music, I'm gonna focus on the words. That's why I just play something that I don't understand. So I just flow and just study. So I don't know. It's a little weird, but for sure I'll check out the last song then. So
just whenever it gets to credits, you'll hear it.
number 3 for you was the Persona series.
Yes.
My number 3, again, infamous series.
Okay, I literally thought you said Infamous. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. But
I don't know. It's,
no,
okay.
number 3. And this is mostly because I played it recently. And it was so good. And that's the God of War series. I mean, just by God of War 4, God of War 4 by itself wins. Would get placement in number 3.
God of War. It's God of War 4. The music is great, and even though I haven't finished God of War,
You should. That's gonna.
I know, I know, the music was it's epic.
It
I'm
is
listening to the
epic.
overture,
It
which
is
the
Nordic. It is.
theme.
It is. Oh my God! It hits everything it should. Every point it should. No, and here's the thing: when in God of War, they have a lot of time when you're just sitting around with your son, talking to him, having conversations with him, and the song slows down and it's this more gentle song and stuff like that. But then when you're fighting these huge, humongous creatures and stuff like that, the freaking score picks up and it's this, it's this freaking, it's such a, oh my God, every emotion that you feel in that game, and that game is gonna make you feel plenty of different emotions. They have literally the perfect song for it. The other God of War games, again, the only one I ever played was 3, and then 4. After that, I don't remember. I can't tell you how the soundtracks were. I think people genuinely.
Then maybe do you think maybe you should have picked another one, because there was a lot of I don't know. If I would have just played Persona 5, I don't think I would have picked it, because I wouldn't. But since I played almost all the Persona games.
No, I think the music just in God of War 4 by itself puts it on the
wow.
list. And I have another game on here where I just played one game in a series, and it's on the list.
Come on.
No.
Come on, champion.
You can't talk. You put a soundtrack to a game you didn't even play, so you can't disagree with that.
Which game?
Dragon Quest. Well, you didn't play.
I have played Dragon Quest.
No, but you didn't play. You said you went back and you heard the ones from the other games that you didn't play. And Game Boy, Game Boy soundtrack.
It's the same one.
How good is a Game Boy soundtrack though? It's like
you should look it up. It's actually pretty good.
Okay, I mean I'll look it up. So my number 3, God of War, Century.
Like this is not an honorable mention, but one that is not on my list, but I've listened to almost every song. It is kind of cheating because they're not songs made for the game per se. Not all of them. It uses. Do you know which one I'm talking about? I don't want to say it. Like it's a developer who he used a lot of like real songs and incorporated it into his game. He's considered the Quentin Tarantino of like video games right now.
I mean,
like Quentin Tarantino uses a lot of like songs.
I mean, yeah, but
movies.
that's like the last thing he's known for. He's most known for like character dialogue. But yeah, sure, I guess.
Yeah. I'm saying like when it comes to music, I'm talking about the music.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. No.
Hideo Kojima and the Metal Gear series.
Bro, oh my god.
They use a lot
You won't believe me. I literally I swear I wanted to say that.
I know. Wait, what do you mean?
Like I wanted cuz I remember playing Metal Gear Solid the Phantom Pain. I remember listening to songs. I'm like these songs sound like normal songs. Like these songs are like normal songs. Like they're
straight up normal.
Yeah.
They're 80s songs like there's all these it's not in my list.
No.
And I wanted to.
Here's the thing.
But I've listened to all the songs.
Here's the thing.
And they're very good.
For me they're up there. It's an honorable mention. Especially the main theme with with the girls screaming in the background. I think that song was specially made for that game, but
wait, which one? Which one do you think is the main theme?
The one where the girl's screaming. Like, oh, I don't know. I can't.
Oh, Sins of Father.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not. Is it the main theme? I think there's a.
I thought that was the main theme.
Yeah, it became a meme. It's like, why are we still here?
Oh yeah.
Just to suffer. That's the song where they use that music in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one is a Metal Gear. That's what I'm saying. They use a lot, they use a lot of. Hideo Kojima loves using real songs.
Shout out to Hideo Kojima. Shout out to Metal Gear. Honorable mentions on our list. The whole Metal Gear series.
I know all the songs, but I haven't played all the Metal Gear games because Konami does not want to remaster them. The music.
Your number 2 soundtrack of all time. I'm saying, just in your opinion.
Yeah, they're all number 2. Number 2, Fire Emblem.
Boom.
Now, Fire Emblem.
Drop the mic.
Oh my God.
I dropped the mic. Now you dropped the mic.
How? I mean, Fire Emblem.
No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That means it's good. This doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not telling you to drop the mic. Drop the mic.
The most.
Stop speaking.
This looks very weird. Yeah, they Well, you played Smash. Yeah, you have Smash. Have you heard the theme?
Actually, I have. I remember from.
Yeah, they're epic. They're just these scores, and like the music is not. The games are not like, oh, it's an adventure.
Yeah.
Like the different soundtrack, the different tracks, and they're made by a female composer. I forgot her name, but they evoke emotion because there's a lot of like, it's a game based on war and battles.
Yeah.
So it's like, these people have psychological detriments and effects on their mind, and these songs play those like themes without having words. They paint that picture.
I've never played it, but I've always looked at it and been like, I'm sure that series has a good soundtrack.
It's a revered series. You can just look at it and it's like.
No, I watched it and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this series has a great soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Like I just by looking at it.
Yeah, and there's just so many, man, it's insane.
Okay, so that's your number 2?
Yeah, it is my number 2. For that reason, because the music because they have songs. They have some songs. Like Fire Emblem Fates is actually based around music.
Okay.
The game, like a lot of the powers and stuff, are based around music. But yeah, they went all out. So Fire Emblem series is on
Number 2.
I guess the last of my number 2s.
So my number 2. This is a game I've only played one game in the series, but it is so good that it sold me on it. I mean, these guys, look, man, I love the big orchestras. I love them. They're amazing. But dang it, sometimes I want the people to make the games to go into the freaking studio and record some fire stuff and throw in genres like hip hop and jazz and like alternative R&B and stuff like that, and mismatch it and make these beautiful original songs that kind of amazingly help their games and actually like are perfect for the theme of the game. I'm talking about Persona. It's my
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, wait. I was like, that's literally what I mean, yeah, Persona.
I mean, I love it. It is so many. First of all, I like hip hop, and this has some sort of hip hop ish alternative / R&B alternative / jazz alternative. You know, it's
more jazz. It's actually, that's the genre. Let me see.
No, I know, but it's alternative. You know, it has a lot of it has multiple genres in it. You know, it plays a wide variety of like different songs and stuff like that. I love it. I mean, I fell in love with it in Persona 5. I've literally turned the game on, and I can just look it up on YouTube and look up like songs and just, you know, Persona 5 songs or whatever, and just play it and loop it. I'll literally go to the game and like just stay in the menus and just leave it on. Like I'll leave the game on for hours.
It's just like, I'm telling you, don't you like feel like that's why
look,
I'm not into rhythm games. I don't know if you know, it's like, you know, you press Y,
yeah,
you know, X X Y Y. I don't know if you've seen that meme it was a Konami guy. But yeah, those are rhythm games where, you know, you have to match the buttons with what the screen tells you.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're stupid. Not until I saw Persona 5 dancing and Persona 3 dancing and Persona 4 dancing, and I was like, you know what? If there was ever a time to love rhythm games,
that's the thing. Persona, their music is so good that they literally made their own dancing games, literally featuring like the protagonists of their own video games dancing. Like that's how good the music is, that it spawned its own game. Like I've never seen that for a music in a game to be that good that it's like it could be its own game, the music itself. So yeah, I mean,
yeah, the music, it plays with the theme. It plays with that if you guys like Persona style music, look up Jamiroquai. I don't know. I know I didn't pronounce that right. You ever heard of Virtual Insanity?
No. Maybe if I heard them before, like heard their music before, but
it's this is the genre. This is the exact genre you're asking for. You think it's R&B, hip hop? No, it's so like it's his own genre.
Yeah. Okay, everything has its own genre.
Come on, like,
but when
I'm showing you a video right now, and just imagine Persona 5 like music behind this, and it matches, right?
No, but
it kind of goes with the rhythm.
My thing is like, no, I'm sure it has its own genre. My thing is that, like, you know, I'm just lazy and I don't want to call it that.
Yeah,
so
of course.
But I'm saying it has aspects of R&B and jazz and a little bit of hip hop. It has a lot of hip hop drums and 808s.
Yeah,
stuff like
of
that,
course.
and a lot of jazz stuff too. Again, it sounds great.
Yeah, like I'm saying, you can put Persona 5 like music behind Jamiroquai, Virtual Insanity. I know I'm not saying his name right, but it's Virtual Insanity, and yeah, it looks like he's dancing to Virtual Insanity. I mean to a Persona 5 soundtrack.
Yeah. So Persona, my number 2. Sentry, you gave your number 2, right?
Yeah, it was Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem, right? Yeah. So time for the number 1. So this was your number 1. This is your true number 1, Sentry. What is your number 1 soundtrack of all time?
You go first.
Facts.
Let's switch it up. You go first.
You switched it up.
I'm spinning the coin on you.
Okay.
You go first.
I didn't expect this, but let me give you a clue. Boom, boom. Ah!
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, wait, what? Yeah. That's just Skyrim.
Yes. If you never heard Skyrim, first of all, just please buy the game Skyrim. They have it on every console in existence. They have it for the N64. They have it for your phone. They have it for your calculator. Whatever console you have, it supports Skyrim. Don't look it up. It just supports it. Look it up, buy it, and then the first 30 seconds of when you start the game, you already have your money's worth. I mean, it is the most beautiful introduction to a game, I think, ever.
Yeah, it got me into those scrolls.
Like, when I first heard it as a kid, it was 2011 when it came out, and I was a kid, and I was waiting for this adventure. I'm like, I want to have my first adventure in the world of Elder Scrolls, and that song, literally, I felt like I was transported into that world.
Yeah, it's so epic, man.
And it's not also that, like, the not just like the beginning song of it, the songs when you're walking into the cities and when you're looking out
or even
sky.
like the bard songs.
Oh
bard
my god,
music,
I know
where the NPCs are just, obviously they're voice actors or singers voicing these NPCs, but there's no music, right? Other than like the little instrument they have.
And you can suggest different songs to them, and it's like, the lyrics change whether they're the Stormcloaks or the Empires, And like, I know the songs line by line, it's like, we drink to our youth. Okay, I'm not gonna sing it. I'm not gonna get copyrighted, dang it. But I like when you know the lyrics to it, and it's like, and it's not. Here's the thing: it's very hard for me to listen to a game soundtrack that isn't like Persona or Sonic Adventures outside of the game, because it's weird. Like okay, at least. Like, from, like, the people I hang around with and stuff like that, they don't really listen to classical music or big orchestras and stuff like that in music. I mean, sometimes they use it as, like, I listen to music that uses that as a sample, but never like that. But the Elder Scrolls series is, like, the only series where I can say, yeah, I listen to this outside of, like, the game, and it's just still amazing. And also, Elder Scrolls series, because Morrowind's theme is so freaking good. It is, like... Skyrim is Nordic and more like thunderous. Morrowind is more cool, more low vibe, more chill, but it still kind of has an epic feel to it. Beautiful. I'm pretty sure the main instrument, there's a piano that they use for the Morrowind one. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
well, like I mentioned before, Oblivion has this regal, you're in the capital.
Yeah.
Put a tie and some black shoes on. You're in the presence of a king. That's the type of music it's in. Whereas Skyrim is like, you're in the wild.
Yeah, it's like you're in the snow, you're in the tundra.
Yeah, and this is like a land where like dying is like a privilege. It's like,
I mean, people.
It's not frowned upon.
People made a language up for this music, especially in Skyrim. People made a dragon language up, just for the song.
Yeah, I said Valhalla, but Sovngarde is sang in the dragon tongue.
Like, you had to realize the people in the orchestra had to learn a fictional language that they will never ever use in their lives, just to make this happen. And it sells you on the world.
Look at this. Naloke Zinlovarin. What? Yeah.
Did you look up the lyrics?
Then there's an English translation. Yeah, there's a
Google translates. Google translates it. Oh, dragon language here. that right there is dedication, and that's where I think is like the epitome of game mechanics and the game itself and the soundtrack.
No, if you think about it as a game,
perfectly,
it's like for the time it came out, I don't want to bash anything because it's so perfect. I have no. Obviously, as a critic, now I can look back and say, okay, it had flaws.
Stop.
But I have to say, when I played it, it was just the best. It was the best experience a game could give you.
It is.
That a movie cannot give you, and that's what Skyrim was. With the soundtrack, with the gameplay, everything.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Buy it. And just those first 30 seconds will make the $60 worth it. Even if you hate the game, just that 30 seconds of it will be amazing. My number one, the Elder Scrolls series. So, Sentry, what is your number one? I think I have a clue.
Yes. Okay, guess.
It's Legend of Zelda series. Come on.
It's you knew if I didn't mention it,
I was gonna
Yes.
drive over to your house. Keep in mind he lives 4 hours away from me. Sentry lives 4 hours away from me. I was gonna drive to his house and like, like put my head on his forehead. Like, are you sick?
Yeah, like it's not even on my top. No, Zelda's my number one. I said those four on my list are all number twos, but Zelda's number one. Let me tell you,
Yep.
Zelda
And here's the thing.
is a masterpiece.
Here's the thing.
It is the premiere and the pinnacle of what an orchestrated music and pastoral music can offer. Like no Zelda music is like similar. Obviously, the main theme because there's so many Zelda games, but it has the one reoccurring theme, but it's been redone like 50 times by and like every like there's a Zelda concert. That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. There's literally a concert.
No, I told you, Sentry. I said I said for sure. I missed a series in my top 5 that it hurt me to cut out, but I know it's gonna be either your number 1 or number 2, and it was that Legend of Zelda. I just again, I have.
Look at this. So this is at the United Palace Theater in New York City. Yeah, and it packs up, and it's just an orchestra with some gameplay of games in the background.
And look. It.
But I can go so in depth into it because like the music, it makes you feel like Spider-Man. Like
Spider-Man, the Marvel game, is also my honorable mentions.
Makes you feel like Batman. No, the music, it just evokes like an adventure. But then again, I said that for Dragon Quest, but it's not just that. It evokes it's storytelling, imaginary storytelling through music. It doesn't need songs at all. Like the music tells the story. Like it's actually possible. Like this is an actual in music theory. This is an actual principle where like a lot of these these music has to tell a story without words. Like some of the best like written by Chopin, Beethoven. Like if you look at their music, has a there's a song, I don't know by who, I forgot now. Whereas
But yeah,
well,
it was my number 6.
It
was like if I had to make, if the list let me include one game, one more series in there, it would have been Legend of Zelda. Again, I've played Breath of the Wild, and that's about it. Now I've been dying to play Majora's Mask and
I've played a lot. I haven't played all those other games.
I've played Majora's Mask.
Now that I got a 3DS, my possibilities have just like opened up again.
Yeah.
Because I've played most of the Game Boy games already, like in my youth. And that's the thing. When I was a kid, I didn't know what Zelda was. I didn't even care about storytelling. But I knew that there was this guy with a green hood.
Who was awesome.
And his master sword that would fight these little goblin looking little red goblins basically. And that's how I knew. I was a kid at the time. But I played a lot of Zelda. And it was part of my youth, but I really didn't. The thing that brought Zelda back to me and made me like go like into a retro, like a retrospective or an analytical view in it was Breath of the Wild. A lot of people didn't like Breath of the Wild's soundtrack because it wasn't like that epic adventure, and that's what I mean. That's what I love about Zelda. It's so varied but the Breath of the Wild soundtrack really conveys nature and the wild. But yeah, that's my number 1.
A very honorable number 1. Okay.
Yes.
I feel ashamed. I feel dirty. I feel like a dirty human being for not picking that.
It should have been at least in your top 5.
It should. It lost out to Sonic Adventures, and I know that probably makes you want to fight me, but again, I can't. Here's the thing: your number 1 is based on nostalgia, so
No, it's.
Well, I know. Okay, it's not nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's a combination of, it's actually great music plus nostalgia, which to me that's what Elder Scrolls was, nostalgic and.
Yeah, the reason Elder Scrolls is there's a lot of like it's similar to a lot of music out there. I mean, come on, it's almost as close as to God of War. Or God of War is similar to Elder Scrolls, but God of War came out later. But Elder Scrolls, yeah, has a lot of nostalgia for me. Because when I first heard those tunes, my ears
They
like
teleported you to
yeah,
Skyrim.
I was in Skyrim, yeah.
Like it sent chills down my spine the first time I heard it. Like as a little kid, excited to pop in that CD, or not CD, DVD, pop that disc into the Xbox 360 and just letting that play. But again, great list. I thought my list was great. I thought we were gonna fight. I thought we were gonna end up getting into a fist fight over this list, and we didn't.
I'm surprised we didn't really have other than Persona.
Yeah, and Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, and obviously, yeah.
I knew that one was gonna be
You know what? I'm surprised you didn't put Zelda. I'm gonna fight you for that. How did you not put Zelda
Look,
at all?
I played Breath of the Wild and I played a little bit of Majora's Mask years ago on my cell phone, which I kept muted.
But like everybody knows the Zelda.
But I have to play it. That's the thing. I have to play it. My thing was I have to play it while listening to the music, while playing it, so I can, get a good sense of it. And I just hadn't played any other, Legend of Zelda games. I'm sure if I would have, it probably would have jumped up a lot higher. I could see it. I could honestly from 5 forward.
And I was actually gonna go a lot more in depth. Like I'm actually planning on doing a video eventually, and I've done a lot of research on Breath of the Wild, and like as you can see here, like it's a lot more in depth than what people think. Like it's good. Zelda, they use like masterclass composers. They don't play around when it comes to the music, and that's what Shigeru Miyamoto wanted, because he thought the first Zelda was gonna be too complex for like the average player.
Yeah.
Because it was the era of Mario, which was a simple, where Zelda was like a puzzle adventure game. So
you switched it up. No, and I mean, and to this day, that great music keeps living on. And I keep saying Zelda is probably one of the greatest franchises. Probably the greatest franchise in video game history. Like, if you want to figure out how to, and I know I can say that confidently with only playing like 1.5 games, because just seeing how much care goes into every game.
Music is so important. In two of their games were based on music alone. Ocarina of Time, which is literally an ocarina, which is an instrument.
Yeah.
And Wind Waker, which is you have to like
the wind,
play like a tune to control the wind.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
music is huge for Zelda. It's not like it plays into the game.
Yeah, it's really good. And so those were our top 5 list. We disagreed, but we didn't fight, which I'm surprised and I'm happy we didn't.